I'm just going to be giving you some of the tricks and tips that I have been using to ace all my tests and all my exams. Studying in a foreign language can be very overwhelming and may seem like an impossible thing to do, and I can't concentrate my energy on all of them because some of them are actually very come rain, come sunshine, come snow, come earthquakes. You have to go to that class. You don't want to look dumb in that class. Use the material that your university provides. Don't go there just for attendance. The same way the teacher asks the questions in the classroom is the same way they're going to be asked in that exam room. It's not like, back home where the lecturer is your enemy and he says no one is going to pass that exam. You just always have to remember that the system is not built against you. Yes, it's not built for you, but it's not built against you. Get your pen and paper and make sure you write those notes. Whether you like it or not, every lesson counts. Hi there, it's your girl Pumulo, and I'm back again with anything and everything interesting. If you're new here, my name is Pumulo. I'm an African student living, learning, and existing in Russia. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And to all my new subscribers, welcome to the family. I hope you enjoy it here. I know you will. And to my returning subscribers, I love you so much and welcome back.
Another banger. Make a call, make a bomb, 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 make a call, make a keep body, bomb, 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 your body, make a bomb, 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 on a negative.
Without further ado, let's get straight in this video. So for those who don't know, I am a first year student studying in Russia under the Russian medium, which means I study in the Russian language, which is a foreign language to me. And so I'm just going to be giving you some of the tricks and tips that I have been using to ace all my tests and all my exams. So let's get straight into it. Studying in a foreign language can be very overwhelming and may seem like an impossible thing to do. But I'm here to tell you that it's very much possible to study in a foreign language and get those grades up, baby. And this is how you do it. First things first, one thing I would advise you to do is actually identify the courses or subjects that require your full attention. Many of the times that we have so many courses, for example, I'm in first year second semester and I have about 13 courses and I can't concentrate my energy on all of them because some of them are actually very not very important. For example, classes like history class, all I have to do is attend the classes, write the test, and I'm done with that subject. I don't have to study Russian history because it's a lot. Like, I cannot study Russian history, but the tests, they're going to pass. We're going to pass one way or the other. Classes like bioethics, where you only have to do like presentations and you don't really have to study. For me as a medical student, the most important subjects that I have to study right now are anatomy and histology. And so I focus my energy on anatomy and histology because I know they require more of my energy and time, and that's where the focus is. Other subjects that require my attention are those that have exams at the end of the semester. So for example, here in Russia, you may have 13 classes, but you only have one exam in that particular semester. So for example, this semester, I only have one exam, which is my biology exam, which I definitely have to start preparing for. Yeah, and so I'm just going to focus my energy on the subject that has the exam and the two other important subjects. So I'm literally only studying 3 subjects. Yes. One of the most important things that you're going to do as an international student is actually attend all your classes. Like, attend all your classes, have 100% attendance, come rain, come sunshine, come snow, come earthquakes. You have to go to that class. That's one of the most important things, attendance. And before you actually attend some classes, for example, I have anatomy and histology, I always have to prepare for those classes. Well, it's very much important to prepare for your classes because you don't want to look dumb in that class. I mean, the lecturers are going to ask you questions and your friends are going to be answering those questions, and you don't want to be that person who doesn't answer questions in class. First of all, know the topic that you're going to study in class. Make sure you have the basic understanding of the topic. And how do you get this basic understanding? Literally, go to YouTube, watch YouTube videos on the topic, use the material that your university provides, go through it, have a basic understanding, and then go to class. Don't go to that class with nothing up there because the teacher is going to ask questions, and what are you going to do? You're not going to answer the questions. So make sure you go prepared. So once you get to class, make sure you go into that class with a positive mindset of actually wanting to learn. Go into that class with interest, please. Yeah, and once you get to that class, make sure you have your paper and pen ready and be ready to take down notes and try and understand like what exactly the teacher is trying to teach you. Like, don't go there just for attendance. I know I said you have to attend your classes, but don't just go there for attendance. Make sure you are very attentive, take down notes. If there are slides, take pictures of those slides. And one thing I'm going to tell you is pay attention to how the teacher asks the questions. Because if you are like me, who has oral exams, the same way the teacher asks the questions in the classroom is the same way they're going to be asked in that exam room. And so you need to pay attention to the questions. I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in Russia, lecturers are actually there to help you. Lecturers actually do their job. They actually teach you guys. It's not like, back home where the lecturer is your enemy and he says no one is going to pass that exam. No, lecturers here actually want you to pass. The education system here is made for you to pass. Like, it's not there to fail you, it's there to make you pass. And so you just have to be sharp. You just always have to remember that the system is not built against you. Yes, it's not built for you, but it's not built against you. And that's a mindset that you should have going into that classroom. So, as I said, get your pen and paper and make sure you write those notes. Make sure you write down how the questions are being phrased in order for you to prepare for the ultimate exam. Whether you like it or not, every lesson counts. And as a foreign student, you might not exactly understand everything because of the language barrier, but whatever you're able to understand, please make sure you write it down. You can write it down in your native language, you can write it down in the foreign language. Just make sure you write those questions down. So you know how we usually take pictures of the slides that we never ever look at again? Well, one thing that I really try to do is after every lesson, I have to write the notes down. I have to make the conspects. So this is my anatomy book, and this is like nervous system. Oh my god, my camera is mirrored. But yeah, like I literally write all the notes, like all the notes. I don't play about my notes. Because this is the best type of thing that I can study, because exactly the way the teacher prepared their slides and lectures is the same way that they're going to ask the questions in that test or that exam. So conspects, very, very important. Yeah, and not only are they important for my own understanding, but they're also important for me to gain more points, because the education system here is built on point building during the semester. So for example, at the beginning of the semester, the teacher is going to tell you that you require 40 points at the end of the semester in order to get what we call as a chort, or as translated in English, a credit. So at the end of the semester, every one of your teachers is supposed to sign what we call as a chotnaya kniga, and that shows that you've cleared that exam and you're ready to proceed into the next semester or the next academic year. So these points are usually divided into attendance, notes, activity in class, and tests. So for example, you have 10 points for attendance, 10 points for lectures, 10 points for other tests, and 10 points for activity, which is of course answering questions in class. And then you'll be able to get your points, and you'll be able to get your zachot signed. So this is how it looks like when your zachot is signed. Oh my god, I don't have stamps, but but at the end of the year, at the end of the semester, they stamp your zachotnaya kniga, and you are ready to proceed into the next semester rent-free. Lovely. So let's now dive into actually studying or preparing for your exams. So one thing you're going to do is actually understand the topic in your native language. For example, I'm a native speaker of English, and so I am going to understand a certain topic in English. So for example, the nervous system, I'm going to know the parts of the brain in English, just for my brain to comprehend, because studying in a foreign language can be so overwhelming. You have so many new words, so many medical terms that sometimes get to confuse your head. You end up having a headache. I make sure I understand the topic in my native language by literally just watching, a 30 minutes video, a 1 hour video on YouTube. And then for the actual studying, I actually use Russian material. I don't use English material. I use Russian material. Like, this is the hard stuff. This is the hardcore. Like, I don't know, but there's just something about how the Russians present their, how they present their material that I find very, very interesting. And so I always go for the Russian material. And so the tip here is to use your foreign material. Like, use your foreign material. Use your foreign material to study and revise in order for you to prepare for that test or exam. Especially if you're not very fluent in that foreign language, I very much recommend studying in the actual foreign language and actually learning, the new words from there. But if you are very confident in your second language, you can actually study the things in your first language, and then when you are asked, you are able to translate. Damn, I was about to say a Russian word, but yeah, you are able to translate in your head and actually give that information back. In that case, it's very good. But as for me, I don't know a lot of Russian, so I just punish myself and study the Russian material. Like, at this point, I only know certain things in Russian and not English. Like, it would take me a while for me to remember like the English words of certain organs, certain parts of the body, and I'm just like, hold on, give me a minute. I know this in Russian, but like, I don't know it in Russian. So yeah, in this case, I know stuff in Russian than in English. That's medically speaking. Apart from reading my textbooks, I make sure I watch videos on YouTube in the Russian language. I actually watch videos in the Russian language, so I'm able to know how I'm supposed to explain the concepts, because as I said, mine are oral exams, mine are oral tests, and so I'm supposed to be able to speak. So I watch those videos and they very much do help me. Or apart from that, the good thing about YouTube videos are that they give you like tricks and tips on how to remember certain things. Like they have a lot of mnemonics, and that's very, very helpful. So specifically for those studying in Russian, I very much recommend that you make use of what we call Yandex. Like, I don't get my information from Google. Sometimes Google is like very basic for the level of information that I might want to have. And so I always go for Yandex, because it's made by the Russians, and so all their information is right there. So my method of studying is the odd time rewriting. I don't know why I still use this method of studying, but that's what works for me. I kind of rewrite my notes and actually actively record them, because I actually have to like speak out loud for me to be able to remember and to exercise my mouth muscles on how I'm supposed to pronounce things in Russian, because it's actually hard. Apart from studying my notes, I very much invest my time in studying the atlas. And for us medical students, it's not just about the theory but also the practical, and so I sometimes very much invest my time in actually going to the anatomy building and actually looking at we call them preparats. So preparats are literally just like their real life organs. Say for example the heart, we have organs in the heart, like actual human organs that were harvested, and I just go there, I look at them, I am able to identify the parts, and I'll be ready for that exam. Because yeah guys, that's how I study for my tests, for my exams, and so far so good. I have been acing them, I've been eating them up. So if you want to do the same, make sure you follow my tips, and if you have more questions, make sure you leave them down in the comment section. I'll be able to answer them and give you more guidance. Love you, bye.